Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Anuja Kumar and with me is Saira Mujtaba with the Midday News. The headlines. Relaxation in Corona curfew should not make people think COVID-19 has ended and everyone must continue to follow COVID protocols to win this battle, says Prime Minister Modi. Prime Minister denounces those creating apprehensions about vaccination, says they are playing with the lives of people. Vaccines for children and nasal vaccine under trial, says Prime Minister. India reports less than 1 lakh new cases after 63 days, 86,498 new cases in the last 24 hours. National COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 94.29%. Over 1,82,000 patients recovered during last 24 hours. Over 23 crore 61 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. COVID curfew to end completely in all districts of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar from tomorrow. Only night and weekend COVID curfew to continue. India defeat Bangladesh 2-0 in AFC Asian Cup 2023 qualifiers at Doha. And in French Open tennis, four-time champion Rafael Nadal contains Yannick Sinner to book a spot into the quarterfinals. Defending women's champion Iga Swiatek fends off Marta Kostyuk to reach the quarterfinals. In the wake of COVID-19, we appeal to our listeners not to lower their guard and stay safe and protected by following these simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki doori for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene, and get vaccinated. For providing COVID-related information and guidance to people, national helpline numbers 011-2397-8046 and 1075 are operational. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced that the Government of India will provide free vaccines to states for all above 18 years starting 21st of June. Addressing the nation yesterday, Mr. Modi said no state government will have to spend anything on the vaccine and the centre will provide free vaccine to all the countrymen.
सभी देशवासियों के लिए भारत सरकार ही मुफ्त वैक्सीन उपलब्ध करवाएगी। गरीब हो, निम्न मध्यम वर्ग हो या फिर उच्च वर्ग, भारत सरकार के अभियान में मुफ्त वैक्सीन ही लगाई जाएगी।
The Prime Minister said after much deliberations, the government has decided that 25% of the vaccine responsibilities that were looked after by the state governments will now be looked after by the centre. Mr. Modi said, though the government will provide free vaccines to all the countrymen, those who want to pay for the same can get vaccinated at private hospitals. He said 25% of vaccines can be purchased by the private hospitals.
जो व्यक्ति मुफ्त में वैक्सीन नहीं लगवाना चाहते, प्राइवेट अस्पताल में वैक्सीन लगवाना चाहते हैं, उनका भी ध्यान रखा गया है। देश में बन रही वैक्सीन में से 25% प्राइवेट सेक्टर के अस्पताल सीधे ले पाए, ये व्यवस्था जारी रहेगी। प्राइवेट अस्पताल वैक्सीन की निर्धारित कीमत के उपरांत एक डोज पर अधिकतम 150 रुपये ही सर्विस चार्ज ले सकेंगे।
The Prime Minister said relaxation in Corona curfew should not make people think COVID-19 has ended and everyone must continue to follow COVID protocols to win this battle. Mr. Modi cautioned against rumours about vaccines and asked the youngsters to raise awareness about the benefits of vaccination. He said those creating apprehensions about vaccination are playing with the lives of people.
जो लोग वैक्सीन को लेकर आशंका पैदा कर रहे हैं, अफवाहें फैला रहे हैं, वो भोले भाले भाई बहनों के जीवन के साथ बहुत बड़ा खिलवाड़ कर रहे हैं। ऐसी अफवाहों से सतर्क रहने की जरूरत है। मैं भी आप सबसे, समाज के प्रबुद्ध लोगों से, युवाओं से अनुरोध करता हूं कि आप भी वैक्सीन को लेकर जागरूकता बढ़ाने में सहयोग करें।
The Prime Minister said 7 companies are working on developing vaccines and 3 trials are underway. He said research is also underway on nasal vaccines. He said trials have been started to determine the safety of the vaccines on children.
इधर हाल के दिनों में कुछ एक्सपर्ट्स द्वारा हमारे बच्चों को लेकर भी चिंता जताई गई है। इस दिशा में भी 2 वैक्सीन का ट्रायल तेजी से चल रहा है। इसके अलावा अभी देश में एक नेजल वैक्सीन पर भी रिसर्च जारी है। इसे सिरिंज से न देकर नाक में स्प्रे किया जाएगा।
Mr. Modi said that by working in mission mode, the government raised the vaccination coverage from 60% to 90% in 5 to 6 years. He said the government not only enhanced the speed, but also widened the ambit of vaccination. Mr. Modi said 2 Made in India vaccines for COVID have been launched in the country.
भारत ने 1 साल के भीतर ही एक नहीं बल्कि 2 मेड इन इंडिया वैक्सीन लॉन्च कर दी। हमारे देश ने, देश के वैज्ञानिकों ने ये दिखा दिया कि भारत बड़े-बड़े देशों से पीछे नहीं है।
The Prime Minister informed that Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana has been extended till Diwali. He said in this time of pandemic, the government is standing with the poor. Mr. Modi said free food grains will be available in fixed quantity every month to more than 80 crore countrymen till November.
सरकार ने फैसला लिया है कि प्रधानमंत्री गरीब कल्याण अन्न योजना को अब दीपावली तक आगे बढ़ाया जाएगा। यानी नवंबर तक 80 करोड़ से अधिक देशवासियों को हर महीने तय मात्रा में मुफ्त अनाज उपलब्ध होगा।
The Union Health Ministry said the country reported less than 1 lakh daily new cases after 63 days. In the last 24 hours, 86,498 new cases were reported, which is the lowest in 66 days. Recoveries continue to outnumber daily new cases for the 26th consecutive day. The national COVID recovery rate also improved further to go up to 94.29%. Over 1,82,000 patients recovered in the last 24 hours. Country's active caseload also declined to 13,03,702. Daily positivity rate is at 4.62% and it is less than 10% for 15 consecutive days. 2,123 deaths were reported in the last 24 hours. With this, the death toll due to the pandemic has gone up to 3,51,309. Meanwhile, under the globe's largest vaccination drive, over 23 crore 61 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been administered so far. More than 33 lakh 64,000 doses were administered yesterday. The testing capacity has also been ramped up substantially and over 36.82 crore tests have been conducted till now. More than 18 lakh 73,000 samples were tested yesterday. COVID vaccine is a powerful armor in the fight against the pandemic. The Union government is continuously providing vaccines to the states and Union territories so that a large number of people can be vaccinated in a shorter time. More from our correspondent.
The centre is allocating enough vaccines to the states in a transparent manner. The states are also being informed in advance about the availability of vaccine doses. The central government has provided over 24 crore 65 lakh COVID vaccine doses to states and union territories so far. More than 1 crore 19 lakh COVID vaccine doses are still available with the states and union territories. The union government has stressed that vaccine availability is going to increase in the near future. It is estimated that over 200 crore doses of vaccines will be arranged by the end of December this year. COVID vaccine keeps us safe from this infectious disease. Please come forward and take vaccine. Bhupendra Singh, AIR News, Delhi.
The Union Health Ministry's timely intervention ensured in mitigating the effects of the corona pandemic. The ministry has time and again taken several measures to communicate correct and verified information to the citizens. In an attempt to resolve several queries related to the COVID vaccination program, the centre used all possible mediums to reach out to the people and dispel all the related myths. Our correspondent takes a look at one such frequently asked question related to vaccine among people with allergic conditions.
Niti Aayog member and convener of Empowered Group on Vaccination, Dr. V.K. Paul, has said that if someone has a significant allergy problem, then COVID vaccine should be taken only after medical advice. However, he says that if it is only a question of minor allergies like getting common cold, skin allergies and other such related minor allergies, one should not hesitate to take the vaccine. Director at All India Institute of Medical Sciences, AIIMS, New Delhi, has said that those on prior medication for allergies should not stop the medication while getting themselves vaccinated. Dr. Guleria said that arrangements have been made at all vaccination sites for management of allergies arising due to vaccination. Anand Chaturvedi, AIR News, Delhi.
COVID curfew will end completely in all districts of Uttar Pradesh tomorrow. Only night curfew and weekend COVID curfew will continue after that. New COVID cases are decreasing day by day and now there are less than 14,000 active COVID cases. A report.
Today, only 3 districts are having COVID curfew, which includes state capital Lucknow, Meerut and Gorakhpur. And as per government's data, total COVID cases have come down below 600 in these districts. So from tomorrow, Corona curfew will also end in these districts. Now, active COVID cases in all districts of a state are less than 600 and there will be no restrictions in day from tomorrow. Shops will open from 7 a.m. in the morning till 7 p.m. in the evening in all districts of a state. But night curfew will continue from 7 p.m. in the evening to 7 a.m. in the morning and weekend COVID curfew will also continue. A state with 25 crore population is now having less than 14,000 active COVID cases. Despite of conducting 285,000 COVID tests today, the new COVID cases found in the state are just 797. Sushil Chandra Tiwari, AIR News, Lucknow.
Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar today announced unlock from tomorrow in the state. However, night curfew will continue from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. next morning. In a tweet, Mr. Kumar said the government and private offices will function till 4 p.m. with 50% attendance. Shops will open till 5 p.m. every day. This decision was taken at a meeting of Crisis Management Group, which was headed by Chief Minister Nitish Kumar. Online teaching will continue in educational institutions. Permission has been given for the movement of private vehicles. This arrangement will continue till next week. Chief Minister Nitish Kumar said lockdown has had a positive impact in the state. Mr. Kumar said positivity rate has declined and recovery rate increased after the lockdown. In the Union Territory of Puducherry, lockdown has been extended with more relaxations till 14th of June as the number of new cases has been declining for the last few days. The Union Territory has already been under Corona curfew from 10 p.m. till 5 a.m. every day. A report.
The Puducherry administration extended the lockdown by easing certain restrictions. All shops and commercial business establishments would function from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. without air conditioners. Vegetable and fruit shops would function from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. Shops inside big market would be allowed to function following COVID-19 norms. All private offices would function with 50% staff strength. Takeaway in hotels would be allowed till 5 p.m. All categories of liquor shop are allowed to operate between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. Beach road shall be opened from early morning 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. only. All religious places shall be opened for public for darshan up to 5 p.m. Chandramohan, AIR News, Puducherry.
Madhya Pradesh on Monday reported 571 COVID positive cases and 32 deaths, while 1,782 patients recovered from the infection. The active cases reduced to 8,860, including 2,042 in Bhopal and 1,317 in Indore. More details from our Bhopal correspondent.
8 out of 52 districts in the state recorded no case. Not a single district of the state is now in the red zone. The positivity rate of all the districts is less than 5%. The positivity rate of Bhopal, Indore, Ratlam, Baitul, Jabalpur and Anuppur districts is between 1 and 5%, while the positivity rate of the remaining 46 districts is now less than 1%. Meanwhile, Medical Education Minister Vishwas Sarang informed that to encourage vaccination in Bhopal, Tika Lagwao, Market Khulwao campaign is being started in collaboration with trade unions. Under this, vaccination of traders and employees working in shops will be encouraged. Pooja P. Vardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
Gujarat has recorded 778 new cases of COVID-19 yesterday. According to the State Health Department, 2,613 patients recovered during the last 24 hours and were discharged from the hospitals. More from our Ahmedabad correspondent.
Total 7,90,906 patients have been recovered from COVID-19 in Gujarat till now. The recovery rate further improved and reached up to 96.80%. Gujarat has now 16,162 active cases at present. Meanwhile, 2,51,192 persons have been vaccinated in the state yesterday. Government has exempted the hotels, resorts, restaurants and water parks in the state from paying property tax and fixed electricity charges for 1 year. This relief has been granted from 1st April 2020 to 31st March 2021 due to COVID-19 pandemic. Yogesh Pandya, AR News, Ahmedabad.
In Odisha, the daily new COVID-19 cases have further come down to 5,896. 8,429 patients have also recovered from the infection, thereby bringing the state's total active caseload down to 74,172. A report.
Odisha of late has been reporting a sustained turnaround in the number of daily COVID-19 cases. The number of new cases amounting to 5,896 reported during the last 24 hours is the lowest since the 21st of April last. While the cumulative cases have overshot the 8 lakh mark, the cause for concern is the number of deaths on account of COVID-19 infection. The state has reported a total of 45 fatalities during the last 24 hours, which is the single-day highest ever since the pandemic struck the state around March last year. Girish Chandra Das, AIR News, Bhubaneswar.
The Madras High Court today said that it cannot pass any judgment with regard to compensation for COVID patients who have lost their lives. In a case relating to the issue, the court said that only the government could take a decision in this matter. The first bench of the court, consisting of Chief Justice Sanjeev Banerjee and Justice Senthil Kumar, said that compensation for death of COVID patients was a subject pertaining to the policy of the state government and the court could not interfere.
The Central for Technological Research Institute is a CSIR lab in Mysuru which is working in the direction of developing food that can boost immunity and prevent diseases. During the first wave of the COVID pandemic, the institute had distributed spirulina chicky, mango energy bar, high-protein wrap, banana cereal bar and spiced water with bioactive and antioxidant ingredients to the migrant workers, frontline warriors and COVID patients. More from our Bengaluru correspondent.
The Central for Technological Research Institute, or CFTRI in short, is working on probiotic food that will protect children prone to third wave of COVID infection. Speaking to AIR News, the director of CFTRI, Sridevi Annapurna, has said that processing methods are being developed by them for increasing absorption of micronutrients from plants, fruits and vegetables and prepare a wholesome food with natural taste that will help boost immunity in children and protect them from COVID infection.
Children need to be given wholesome and balanced diet that is nutritious and freshly prepared. Keeping this in mind, CFTRI has developed several nutritious food products that are either snacks or supplements to address any deficiencies in a child's diet in terms of protein, calories or micronutrients to help boost immunity in children.
The probiotic food being developed by CFTRI is rich in vitamin A, C, D and E with micronutrients necessary to combat infections. They keep harmful bacteria and viruses in check. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
Veteran film and theatre actor and director Yashpal Sharma has said that there should not be any politics over vaccination. Speaking to AIR News, Yashpal Sharma said, "We should rise above all the considerations and go for vaccination."
वैक्सीन लगवाएं भी और दूसरों को समझाएं भी, क्योंकि ये हम सिर्फ अपना नहीं, अपने आसपास परिवार का, दोस्तों का, समाज का, सबका भला करेंगे। और अपने परिवार को, दोस्तों को, सबको बताइए कि वैक्सीन लगवाएं। यही एक उपचार है। इसमें कोई राजनीति नहीं, कोई जात पात भेदभाव, गरीब अमीर कुछ मत समझिए। अपना कर्तव्य समझकर बस वैक्सीन लगवाइए।
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Relaxation in Corona curfew should not make people think COVID-19 has ended and everyone must continue to follow COVID protocols to win this battle, says Prime Minister Modi. Prime Minister denounces those creating apprehensions about vaccination, says they are playing with the lives of people. Vaccines for children and nasal vaccine under trial, says Prime Minister. India reports less than 1 lakh new cases after 63 days. 86,498 new cases in the last 24 hours. National COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 94.29%. Over 1,82,000 patients recovered in the last 24 hours. Over 23 crore 61 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. COVID curfew to end completely from all districts of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar from tomorrow. Only night and weekend COVID curfew to continue. India defeat Bangladesh 2-0 in AFC Asian Cup 2023 qualifiers at Doha. And in French Open tennis, four-time champion Rafael Nadal contains Yannick Sinner to book a spot into the quarterfinals. Defending women's champion Iga Swiatek fends off Marta Kostyuk to reach quarterfinals. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Midday News. The Centre has been disseminating awareness of 6 national helpline numbers created for the benefit of the citizens during the COVID-19 pandemic. National helpline of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare for COVID-related queries is 1075. The child helpline number of Ministry of Women and Child Development is 1098. For senior citizens of Delhi, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the helpline number of the Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment is 14567. The helpline number of National Institute of Mental Health and Neurosciences, NIMHANS, for psychological support is 080-4611-0007. Ayush COVID-19 Counseling helpline number 14443. And MyGov WhatsApp help desk number is 9013151515.
External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will go to Kuwait on a 3-day visit from tomorrow. Dr. Jaishankar will visit Kuwait at the invitation of Foreign Minister and Minister of State for Cabinet Affairs Sheikh Dr. Ahmed Nasir Al Mohammed Al Sabah. This will be Dr. Jaishankar's first visit to Kuwait as the External Affairs Minister. During the visit, he will hold high-level meetings and also address the Indian community in Kuwait. There are around 1 million Indians residing in Kuwait. India is amongst the largest trading partners of Kuwait, and Kuwait is a major supplier of oil for India. Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray met with Prime Minister Narendra Modi today in New Delhi. Mr. Thackeray was accompanied by Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar, Ashok Chavan and Milind Narwekar amongst others. The delegation led by Maharashtra Chief Minister discussed host of issues with the Prime Minister, which included Maratha and OBC reservation in the state, land acquisition for metro car shed at Kanjurmarg, GST compensation to Maharashtra, issues related to crop insurance and bulk drug park. Uddhav Thackeray also requested the Prime Minister to revise the NDRF norms for the compensation to the affected people by natural disasters. Chief Minister expressed satisfaction about this meeting. On the second day of its 3-day visit in West Bengal to assess the impact of Cyclone Yas, the 7-member central team is visiting coastal areas of Pur Mednipur today. They reached Digha this morning and headed to Digha Shankarpur Development Administration DSDA office for a meeting with the district administration. After that, the team went to visit Digha, Shankarpur, Mandarmoni and Tajpur, the famous tourist spots of the state which were ravaged by the cyclone. Leader of opposition in the West Bengal Assembly and BJP MLA Shubhendu Adhikari called on Union Home Minister Amit Shah today in New Delhi to discuss the issue of post-poll violence on BJP leaders and party workers in the state. Last week, Mr. Adhikari had submitted a representation about post-poll retributive violence in the state to West Bengal Governor Jagdeep Dhankar. Several incidents of violence after the declaration of the state's assembly poll results have been reported. Environment Minister Prakash Javadekar will launch a 2-month-long awareness campaign on the topic of plastic waste management and elimination of identified single-use plastic items on World Oceans Day today. In a tweet, Mr. Javadekar said, plastic litter has adverse impacts on not only terrestrial but aquatic ecosystems also. US and Australian authorities hacked into an app used by criminals to read millions of encrypted messages, leading to hundreds of arrests of suspected organized crime figures in 18 countries. Operation Ironside by Australian police and the US Federal Bureau of Investigation ensnared suspects in Australia, Asia, South America and the Middle East involved in the global narcotics trade.
In Sports Roundup, All India Radio brings you the latest news updates from the world of sports through the day. And as the countdown begins for Tokyo Olympics, with only 45 days to go for the big games, we profile some of the promising Indian medal contenders. Today, we feature India's young athlete, javelin thrower Neeraj Chopra.
Born on December 24, 1997, Neeraj Chopra is India's biggest medal prospect at the Tokyo Games, despite the history that our country has never won an Olympic medal in javelin throw. The 23-year-old established himself as one of the brightest track and field stars ever since he won a stunning gold medal at 2016 Junior World Championships in Poland. In fact, he broke a junior world record with a throw of 86.48 meters, which was better than distance thrown to win the bronze medal a month later at the Rio Olympics. Neeraj further proved his supremacy in the Commonwealth Games and the Asian Games. In 2019, Neeraj had an elbow surgery. He made an impressive comeback by qualifying for the Tokyo Games with a throw of 87.86 meter at the Acne League in South Africa in January 2020. He broke his own national record in March this year, throwing a distance of 88.07 meter in Patiala.
In football, in the AFC Asian Cup 2023 qualifiers held in Doha, Indian captain Sunil Chhetri struck twice in the closing minutes to hand India a 2-0 win over Bangladesh to revive the team's prospects of advancing from Group E. The win gave a boost to India's hopes of sealing a place in the third round. India are only fighting to qualify for the Asian Cup as they are out of contention for the 2022 World Cup. In the French Open tennis tournament, 13-time champion Spaniard Rafael Nadal kept teenager Yannick Sinner's title aspirations in check by defeating the world number 19 Italian 7-5, 6-3, 6-0 to book a spot in the quarterfinals. Nadal, the 4-time defending champion, will now clash with 10th seed Argentinian Diego Schwartzman. The win also means Nadal and Djokovic are on a collision course in the semi-final. In the women's section, French Open 2020 women's champion Iga Swiatek from Poland had to battle hard before she subdued 18-year-old Ukrainian Marta Kostyuk 6-3, 6-4.
Now let us take a look at today's weather. National capital Delhi is having strong surface winds. Minimum temperature was recorded at 29 degrees Celsius. Maximum may go up to 41 degrees. Mumbai has a partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers expected. Chennai is having generally cloudy sky with light rain. Kolkata has partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rains. Jammu has a mainly clear sky. Srinagar also has mainly clear sky. Leh has a partly cloudy sky. Temperature will hover between 9 and 25 degrees Celsius. Gilgit also has a partly cloudy sky. In Muzaffarabad, temperature is shifting from 22 degrees minimum to 39 degrees Celsius maximum. The city is having mainly clear sky. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Relaxation in corona curfew should not make people think COVID-19 has ended and everyone must continue to follow COVID protocols to win this battle, says Prime Minister Modi. Prime Minister denounces those creating apprehensions about vaccination, says they are playing with the lives of people. Vaccines for children and nasal vaccine under trial, says Prime Minister. India reports less than 1 lakh new cases after 63 days, 86,498 new cases in the last 24 hours. National COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 94.29%. Over 1,82,000 patients recovered during last 24 hours. Over 23 crore 61 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. COVID curfew to end completely in all districts of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar from tomorrow. Only night and weekend COVID curfew to continue. India defeat Bangladesh 2-0 in AFC Asian Cup 2023 qualifiers at Doha. And in French Open tennis, four-time champion Rafael Nadal contains Yannick Sinner to book a spot into the quarterfinals. Defending women's champion Iga Swiatek fends off Marta Kostyuk to reach quarterfinals. And with that we end the Midday News.